do you expect the environment to be like in Autzen Stadium on Saturday?
Well, if it's anything like when we came here as the opposing team, looking forward to it. And it's going to be electric, and guys are going to be excited.
What sticks out as you do kind of film review of you guys last year against Stanford with kind of how your group held up against them and then what you see from looking back on Love against you?
I think the biggest thing right now is just execution. Guys got to be able to understand why it's important to be where you need to be when you in each particular play. We will never have a sustained, successful outing if we're not where we need to be. So that's one of the biggest things this week has been detailed, and making sure that the guys are deliberate and understanding why they fit where they fit in each calls that we call.
Does Stanford force you to do some things you wouldn't normally do with their kind of heavy sets, and what they do? They push you to bring more up.
Well, they challenge you. They got a good balance, run and pass, and tremendous job by Coach Shaw, man, over the years of sustaining that. And so we're excited for the opportunity to see where we're at and moving forward. That's what we're trying to get to that level.
What makes Jordan Scott special in the trenches?
I think if anything more, he's more of a humble, hungry competitor. He's been a conscientious kid coming in, and it's never good enough. And so you have an attitude of wanting more and learning more, and he's finding out more about himself, that he's progressing from a year one to year two, and he's a big body that can move and cover ground, short distance burst, and cover sideline to sideline. And so for a big guy and that size moving that fast, that's a tremendous attribute to have. So he's a big personality as well. He's one of those guys that kind of keep an even key on the room when it's get a little stuffy, and you need that. Our guys promote a lot of our personalities are within the scheme and within the things that we do as a unit, and he's one of those big personality kids.
Where does his skill set fit in this type of game against a Stanford?
I'm sorry?
Where does his skill set work for you guys in this type of game against a Stanford?
Yeah, it's a dream type game for Jordan, and physical. The game is to be played that regard, and we ain't changing our approach. That was one of the game first day. I really defining our identity right now. When we first got here with Coach Cristobal in the spring and the winter, just really a physical approach to the game, and that's why we prepare a certain way, and we train our guys a certain way, and we'll never change. Not on our watch, that we're going to be really approaching it as a physical type of a game, and so that's not going to change. But outside of Jordan, man, everybody else seems to understand the magnitude of what we need to do to have a chance to be successful for the season. That's to really be a physical outfit and understanding discipline and doing the right things every time, and we do it right all the time, so we don't never get it wrong. So we're looking forward to it.
Having containment is always important, but against a guy like Bryce Love, does that even get heightened even more? Because if he turns the corner, he could be gone.
Well, like we say in the NFL, man, those guys get coaching too, and he's done a tremendous job over the years of. You got good vision, balance, and we just want to make sure that you minimize those opportunities. And when the opportunity presents itself to put a stop on him, you have to. Otherwise, he's an explosive kid and one of the best, if not the best, in the country, and in what he does. And so we're excited for that. But again, he's a tremendous athlete.
Season ago, there's kind of a mismatch on the outside between your secondary and the Stanford wide receivers. What's got to be different this time around?
Well, again, it's just technique fundamentals. I mean, you look at the film, it's not a talent thing. It's more the fundamentals and the mechanics, and that's across the board. Where we find ourselves behind the eight ball is when guys are doing too much, trying to do more than what they're supposed to. Play the technique properly, and we'll be in a better position, and that's what it is. And again, these last two practices has been a reinforcement of those, and we're excited to look at the film from today's work, because we thought we did some good things to put ourselves in a position to have those opportunities go our way.
Is this Stanford offensive line playing to the level that other Stanford offensive lines have?
Well, you look across the board, man. Those guys, again, Coach Shaw did a phenomenal job of just maintaining. You don't just sustain those unless you have a real fluid culture going. And those guys, they rotate guys in there, and they're still rolling. And so They're going to be who they are, and I'm not really concerned about that other than our guys and our approach and our preparation, and that's got to show up in the way we compete this Saturday.
You look at the discipline and the technique. Where have you seen some of the progress from guys like Diamador Lenore and Thomas Graham Jr. in the secondary?
Well, they're around the ball more now, and part of executing your assignment and your technique properly allows you to be around the ball on a consistent basis. And Diamador and Hollins and those guys, they're students of the game, and for the young as they are, man, their development is coming along, and that's a tribute to Coach Dante and Coach Keith Hayward in the back end, just really dissecting their ball skills and really have some essence and substance and a development plan to provide that for those guys to have the confidence in executing, competing day in, day out. And you've been in the Pac-12 as a skilled player, you're going to be tested. And so those guys are competitors, and they don't shy away from competition.
Is there such thing as putting too much attention on Bryce Love?
Nah, because he's always around. He's always got the ball. If it's not in the quarterback's hand, it's in his hand. So, he's the focal point of their offense, and we got to do a better job of making sure that we're around the ball when he's in the vicinity, and to stop him. And otherwise, he's going to make his plays. He's proven that over and over, and we're looking forward to our guys looking forward to that opportunity.
Who was the most physical team you played against when you were playing college ball? Like that like a game that you guys look forward to like that?
I would say the Huskies. Back when only Cruz was their center, they had a tremendous outfit out there, and you can't even go further back when in the days of the Desert Swarm. But we were also the top dog in the conference, Pac-10. Oh, can't even say the Pac-10 now. But Washington outfit was pretty competitive back in those days.
And were those games that you as yourself would get pretty up for, just knowing that it was going to be like that?
I think that's one thing about getting into conference play. It doesn't take much to be motivated, because the magnitude of it and how the conference is so wide open and so competitive top to bottom. And a lot of people may say a lot about it, but the Pac-12 goes all the way to the end to find out who it is that's going to represent the conference in these situations. So with that said, man, you really truly gotta have a feel for the heartbeat of your team and the players and the way they approach it. And we still got to be able to lead those by example and get the guys that are not really understanding that. But for the most part, man, these guys, once you get into conference play, it's full go. It's almost a 2-for-1, because that's what it is. And we're excited.
What was the perception of Autzen when you're as a player coming in?
Well, I must say Oregon was always one of those teams that knocked us out of the Rose Bowl hunt back in my playing days, and it's gotten even more crazy, electrifying. And when we're having a conversation, I can hear what you're screaming. That's an issue. And so we're looking forward to the opportunity to have the student body back and our contingent of our supporters in the stands, and we're looking forward to that.
After the game, when you go up to your office, are your ears ringing, or just what's it like?
Really the biggest thing is you want to get to that film and see where we can improve. The game is done, it's done. Then you just gotta want to find out where exactly are the guys were, this and that, and make the corrections that move forward. And that's one of the biggest things. The turnaround is so fast, you don't have time to ponder and wonder. You just got to make sure you get a Gatorade and a couple of energy bars, and you're right back at it. And so far it's been good. Coach Crispo does a phenomenal job of just detailing the days from the sunrise to sundown as far as our routine. And our guys are really in a good place right now, and they're hungry, and we'll continue to stay that course. We got to be one of the few teams that continue to improve every week. And that's the goal.